If you feel like you're living, but not truly living, if you keep postponing happiness for some distant someday, or if you're afraid that one day you'll look back with regret, then this video is for you. This isn't a lecture. It's not a success formula. It's a collection of raw, honest life lessons from people who have reached the end of their journey and had only one wish: I wish I had started sooner. So if you can spare me just a few minutes, I believe you'll start to see your life in a completely different way. I wish I had the courage to live life on my own terms. Too many people live their lives like they're acting in a role that was never meant for them. They wear the costume of others' expectations while suffocating their own soul day by day. Only when time runs short do they realize the deepest regret isn't failure. It's never having truly lived as themselves. We are all born as originals, but many spend their entire lives trying to please their family, society, and every voice but their own. What they really wished for was this: to think freely, love deeply, and live authentically, without needing anyone's permission. I wish I had slowed down and truly rested. Hard work is a virtue, but not when it costs you your youth, your health, and time with the people who matter most. Many only realize too late that they traded the most precious years of their life for things they couldn't take with them. They don't regret working, they regret not knowing when to pause, to walk their kid to school, to take a quiet stroll with their spouse, or simply sit in the garden and listen to the rain. I wish I had said what was truly in my heart. There are words that never made it out, love left unspoken, apologies held back, resentments swallowed, dreams hidden away. Out of fear of hurting others, out of fear of being judged, they chose silence and carried those unspoken truths all the way to the end. Silence might feel safe, but it's rarely whole. They wished they had been braver to speak honestly, live honestly, and love fully. 3. I wish I had stayed in touch with old friends. Youth is busy. Life sweeps us up. We think, I'll call them next weekend, or next month, or maybe next year. Then one day we realize next time never came. The people who once laughed with us, stood by us in the hard times, and lived in the heart of our memories have now faded into the background. They wished they had held on to those bonds, because friendship doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be real and kept. I wish I had allowed myself to be happier. Many live life as if they're carrying the weight of the world, always waiting for the right time to feel joy, always postponing laughter, rest, and lightness for some perfect day that never arrives. But happiness doesn't come someday. It only comes if you choose it, today. They wished they had smiled more, sang in the shower, danced even if they couldn't dance, held their child without thinking about unanswered emails. Happiness doesn't need a big reason. It only needs your permission. The most precious thing is always found in the present moment. We often get swept up in the fast pace of life, so much so that we forget we're actually living. It's only when we face our limits, illness, loss, or even death, that we pause long enough to look closer. And we realize the things we once called ordinary were actually the rarest gems we ever had. No one on their deathbed dreams about achievements or bank balances. What they remember most are the small things. It's the simple family dinner, where everyone sits around the table, no phones, just laughter and conversation. It's a tight hug, a quick kiss full of love, sent off not knowing if there'll be another chance. It's those late-night talks with close friends, no filters, no performance, just presence. It's the moment your child runs up to hug you after a long day, and you suddenly realize this is what I'll one day call a memory. It's the quiet morning doing what you love, not for money, not for recognition, just because your heart needs it. It's the trip you almost canceled because work was too busy, but ended up being the journey you'll never forget. Life isn't a collection of peak moments. It's made up of tiny ones, and if you don't slow down to feel them, they'll pass you by forever. Happiness doesn't wait at the end of a checklist. It lives inside what's happening right now, if only you pause long enough to see it. When you trade the present for a promised happiness. Too many people live as though happiness is the ultimate prize waiting at the finish line. They push themselves every day, whispering to themselves, "Once I reach that position, I'll finally rest. When I earn enough money, I'll be happy. When everything is stable, then I'll allow myself to feel joy." But you know what? When that someday arrives, another goal appears on the horizon. And so we keep running, chasing after an illusion that never truly exists. They think success is a destination. But the truth is, it's merely a brief stop along the long journey of life. True happiness isn't found at the finish line. It resides in every step you take, in every stumble you recover from, and in the small moments when you live true to yourself. Happiness is when you notice even a little progress each day, when you learn something new, or when you find yourself laughing unconsciously because you're moving in the right direction, even if you haven't arrived yet. Don't postpone your feelings. Don't treat happiness as a conditional reward. It doesn't need you to be perfect to show up. It only requires that you are fully present in the now. Because in the end, you won't remember how much you achieved, but you will remember how you lived while you were striving. You don't need to be perfect to start. You just need to start. So many people spend their entire lives waiting to feel ready. They wait for confidence to appear, wait to learn a little more, wait until everything in life is settled, and then they'll start what they truly want to do. But here's a simple truth no one really tells you. The feeling of readiness doesn't come before action. It only shows up after you begin. You won't see the entire path from the starting line. You can't plan perfectly for something you've never experienced. Clarity doesn't come from overthinking. It comes from doing. The moment you take even the smallest step, you start building momentum. You begin proving to yourself, "I can do this." And slowly, what once felt unclear starts to make perfect sense. Confidence is not something you need in order to begin. It's the result of daring to move forward even when you're still unsure. The longer you wait, the longer doubt lingers. But the more you walk, the closer you get to the best version of yourself. The path you're looking for will never appear fully formed. You create it, one step at a time. In the end, you won't remember the numbers, you'll remember yourself. One day, you'll sit down and look back on the road you've traveled. And what lingers in your heart won't be how many goals you reached, how much money you made, or how many people once admired you. The only thing that will make you smile, or make your chest ache, will be this question: did I truly live, or did I just exist? Real success isn't measured by achievements. It's measured by how truthfully, how meaningfully, and how bravely you lived each day. Did you love enough? Did you stay true to who you are? Did you do what you believed was right, even when no one else believed with you? If your answer is not yet, then don't wait another day. Because the greatest regret is not failure. It's never having started. And if you've been waiting for a sign to change your life, this is the moment. The end and a new beginning. Thank you for staying with me until the very end. If anything you've heard made you pause, to reflect, to feel, or to decide it's time to change something in your life, then I believe this message has already done its job. Remember, you don't have to turn your whole life upside down today. Just begin with one small action, one small change, and choose to be fully present in each of those small moments, every day. Because you deserve a life you'll be proud to look back on. If this video meant something to you, please consider sharing it with someone who might need to hear it too. And if you'd like to walk this journey of intentional, meaningful living together, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again in the next video. Action is always stronger than waiting. We're often taught things like, think carefully before you act, wait for the right moment, don't rush. And because of that, many people miss out on an entire life simply because they waited too long to begin. We tell ourselves we need more knowledge, more motivation, or some kind of sign from the universe. But do you know what really happens? The longer you wait, the more afraid you become. The more you act, the clearer things become. Procrastination only amplifies fear in your mind, but action, even the tiniest step, begins to break down the invisible walls you've built around yourself. You don't need to leap miles today. Just take the nearest step you can. Make the call. Send the first email. Write the opening lines of that book you've been thinking about. Film that video, even if it's not perfect. Book the trip you've been dreaming of for years. Because once you take action, the wheels start turning. And from that moment, everything begins to change. No one remembers the person who waited for the perfect moment. People remember the ones who dared to begin. So don't let your future self look back and say, "I wish I had started sooner." The simplest lesson, yet the deepest one. I still remember a short story my father once told me, a story that has stayed with me ever since. A little child ran up to their mother and asked, "Mom, what was the most beautiful moment of your life?" The child expected a grand answer. Maybe the day she got married, the day she had children, or the day she accomplished something big. But the mother simply smiled gently and said, "This moment, right now." The child was puzzled, so the mother explained, "Because yesterday is already the past, and no one knows if tomorrow will even come. So the only moment I can truly live and feel is right now." It was such a simple story, yet it left me speechless. We always believe we have more time than we really do. So we postpone love, delay dinners, hold back smiles, always waiting for someday. But if the most precious moment is this very one, then perhaps the greatest gift we can give ourselves is to slow down, be fully present, and appreciate every fleeting second. If not now, then when? Life won't wait for you to have it all figured out. Time won't ask if you're ready, and opportunity won't knock forever. Every day you hesitate is a day not fully lived as your true self. And sometimes, the only thing standing between you and the life you truly want is just one small step. So don't wait for some distant, perfect future to finally give yourself permission to start living. Do something.